Before this begins, I wish to stress, this video will not be taking Legends of Kingdom Rush into account. Regardless, enjoy. Or just watch. I may have only ever implied this, but I'll go on the record to say that the hero selection in Kingdom Rush Vengeance is probably its biggest triumph and most notable feature. It's up there with Origins and its heroes. It goes without saying, I was really excited to talk about Asra, one of my favorite heroes mechanically, mainly for how her abilities mix and match, but we'll get to that soon. We'll first have to decide Asra's clear role. She seems like a speedy ranged attacker, due to her crossbow and teleporting, warping around the map to land snipe shots. Well, mostly anyway. For some reason I also found out she has light armor. Okay, I've noticed this is a thing that just happens with Ironhide. They give these otherwise petite and light-looking heroes some armor, of any varying degree. It's like, it started with Katha, and then Margosa, and then Elora, and especially Deirdre. Like, what's happening? What about Mirage? Where's her armor? This isn't fair! Now, this does complicate things a little bit, but this kinda just gives her a secondary role, lesser than her first, and I think I've found my own interpretation on what she's meant to do through her playstyle. The Quiver and Onyx arrows are an interesting ranged synergy, likely meant to work together to sabotage armored enemies. While I don't recommend putting Asra into melee situations, I would say she has a bit of a chance due to how her melee abilities synergize just as well as her ranged ones. The Spider Bite is a risk and reward. It has a long cooldown and you have to get into Asra's really small melee range, but it pays off when it lands. This is where the shield comes in. It gives a big health boost temporarily, which encourages you to take that risk, but it also deteriorates over time, so you have to be fast. And then I'm not really sure what to say about the hero spell. It kinda just feels like a second soul impact. I guess it's good? It kinda covers Asra's weak spot, which is grouped enemies, so that's kinda cool. And it fits into the poison theming. Not much else to say otherwise. I say it like this because I cannot stress enough how interesting it is that every ability was made with a purpose and works together with each other. Something I can't say about too many other heroes in the entire franchise. Now, make no mistake, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's not like any of Regsun's abilities work together all too well, or are all that consistent to how he fights, but he's still got a unique and interesting moveset that makes him very viable and not too bad on the balance scale. But it's still really interesting when this happens. I would consider Asra to be very consistent and have a lot of traits and roles that complement each other really well. You can explore her roles in many different ways. You can keep her at a distance to apply stacks of damage and wear enemies down by removing their armor, or you could be a bit more risky and keep her up close, engaging in melee combat and potentially poisoning enemies. Even the teleport works to amplify this. You can look for a specific enemy to spider bite around the map, or you could put her in a safer spot for her Onyx blasts. With her range, she's kind of a sniper. Wait, no, turn that off. We've already milked this so many times before. Okay, enough with the TF2, okay? Okay, we may have gotten a little bit carried away at that last bit, but bottom line is, the way all of Asra's traits mix together so subtly, yet so consistently, is pretty impressive. And also, it really helps that she has such a low skill floor and such a high skill ceiling. I think there are plenty of other heroes more balanced than her throughout the whole series, but I just really appreciate the versatility and the flexibility that she owns. You can say what you want about Kingdom Rush Vengeance, but you can't deny it's brilliant when this happens, when everything seems to line up almost perfectly. Whether you're new or seasoned, maybe you'll look back on the franchise and find heroes like these, and really just appreciate what went into them. And this is really just scratching the surface. There's a lot more of these to go through. So, in conclusion, about Asra, that's a big sword. Hi, thanks for watching. I was getting really excited to eventually do this. I wanted to do a balanced episode for a while, but I wanted to do at least 3 nutty before that. And I finally did, so we're here now. I wanted this to be a bit more, like, grandiose, but the more I went through, the more I realized that maybe 4 minutes just is enough. It was concise, it felt right, I said everything I wanted to. That's kind of why I'm going with this style now. That's how things are going to change. I'm gonna probably save the more lengthy episodes for, like, actual big events like the Club Penguin video. That one that existed one time. But yeah, I've really been liking how I'm doing this, even though I have lost my target audience. I don't care, I do it anyway. I don't really have much more to say that's scripted. Can we just get to this shitpost now?
What the hell, movie? I brought my kids to this thing.